Back at the Bus Podcast, coming to you with another comic book review. Today we got X-Men Red issue number 3. Catching up from my little vacay. Went on a vacation. We're back to work. We back on it.
Y'all see Marcus? Yes, there's Theo, but that whole thing, he just went on vacation. He not just gonna get to do it like that. So you need to tell him where you went.
No, for sure, man. We went to Brazil. We went to Rio. I'm gonna serve up some views and stuff like that on the podcast for sure. But it was amazing, man. Let's kick off issue 3. We're gonna start off in Arbor Magna in the hatchery. Cable is being resurrected from his run-in that he had through Brand scheming in the prior episode or prior issue that we talked about. One of the first to greet him outside of Professor X in the 5 is your boy, recently resurrected Mr. Proudstar, and he wants to have a few words with Cable.
Shout out to his new updated costume. The costume was supposed to be in how you identify it, like Captain America, Spider-Man, and everything. We get with X-Men costumes. Sometimes they just random costume. He went from a good costume that said who he was to another great costume that says who he is. Like I'm like, I see another
custom. I don't know
if
you read the giant size issue of Thunderbird where they kind of chronicle his time right after being resurrected. He went back to his old reservation. In there's a data page. It's a letter that he wrote to Jumbo Carnation, the resident mutant fashion guy now for all the new suits that are being made for resurrected mutants and whatnot. He was just giving him the specifications on everything he wanted on his colors to match his tribe, and a lot of they skip.
Hold on, man. You listen. You got me curious. You just can't say that.
Hold on. Man, it's in the giant size X-Men Thunderbird.
Shout out to the fans that's rocking with us. One of the things that I like to do is, aside from going to the local comic book store, staying up to date, I do have the Marvel app on my phone, Marvel Unlimited. So I think you put like $4.99 a month.
John and Cable are sharing a private conversation. Cable locks out the telepaths and any kind of surveillance. Got the arm back, right? Got the I don't want to call it what it is, what he calls it in the book. Pause already, just preemptively. Come to find out that they're not really there for the beef the way that John Proudstar puts it on in front of the 5, but they want to have a little conversation, meaning them two and your boy Manifold, who is not here for any of Abigail Brand's games at all. And so now we're going to get to talk about it. We're gonna start breaking it down with the people who are in the know. And I like the continued. I really hate like dissonant story threads where like obvious things that are happening aren't seen from the main characters until the very end. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't see none of these clues at all. So I like the perspective of, okay, I know it's some tomfoolery from jump, but I gotta slow play it because of the positions he's in. So now it's like you get to see both people working the angle from both perspectives. You get to see Abigail Brand scheming from her perspective. You get to see Manifold realizing, Manifold, Storm, Magneto, all of them realizing that Brand is up to something without necessarily blowing the whistle automatically right now. I like that kind of duality in the storytelling. Is pretty good.
Let me just say this. I like what Al Ewing is doing with Manifold in much the same ways in which Ta-Nehisi Coates used Manifold, because Manifold, I don't like using the terminology minor, major character, but we just know Manifold ain't a heavy hitter. Like, he's not on everybody's lips. So to see him playing intricate parts in 2 different storylines from 2 different writers, diverse writers, they couldn't be any more different. It says a lot. Like, I'm hoping they keep putting shine on this, because they touched around in another issue, previous issue, they said he wasn't Omega level, but if he's not, who is?
In terms of his power set, in terms of reality bending, if you're telling me that Franklin Richards is not a mutant anymore, then who else is able to walk through reality like Manifold? Who's able to manipulate reality more than Manifold?
I think it's something we're going to get later on, because Al Ewing hinted at it. He said maybe there is somebody out there that's You know,
Another Omega. Yeah.
I don't think Al Ewing is not the type of writer to just throw something out there like that and not come back and revisit.
So we got a bulletin board, a promotion for the challenge of the day, Vulcan versus Tarn, for the seat of loss. Right. So this is obviously a scheme drummed up by Brand trying to get Vulcan to unlock that, or at least crack that shell that he got going on right now, so we can get to the true Vulcan, the one that we know and remember. Storm confronts Brand about it and asks her, like, what's going on, man? What you got going on?
You got going on? What you doing, sis? What's up?
Yeah. I'm not with it. I'm still not about to just jump straight out and ask you what you really got going on. But I'm gonna poke you a little bit to see if you drop anything, cause it's stink over here.
Abigail, she do her deflect. She like, what you mean? What I'm doing? Tarn ain't no good. We over here trying to show some love to Arakko, so I'm just gonna have Vulcan go down there and take care of that for them. It's gonna make us look good. Gonna make Vulcan look good. Yeah. he needed an image uplift anyway. So let's go ahead and do it. And Ororo like, really, nigga?
All right, right.
Abigail just being coy, she's like, I'm just trying to look out. It ain't nothing unless you want to do it.
That's what I was gonna get to next. It's like, so you gonna play my game or not? It's basically what Abigail Brand is on. It's like, are you gonna play with me or not? No? Okay, let me holler at Vulcan then, because I can work with him.
When she said meeting adjourned, she like, oh, so we done?
Yeah, go. She's definitely Queen Petty. I like the trueness to the existing other Destiny of X canon that's currently going on, because she does mention what's going on in Marauders right now with the Shi'ar and Princess Xandra, which, if you let the most recent Marauders, it's going down over there. It's going down for sure. Even in the next issue, we're gonna give some more information, but it's going down in the Shi'ar as of late. So I like the fact that Al is able to walk and chew gum at the same time. He's able to write his story and still pay attention to what's going on in other people's books as well, to stay consistent, to make this feel like it's an all-encompassing. It's probably Al Ewing that does that. Benjamin Percy doesn't count because he's got his own like insulated X-Men universe going on with X-Force and Wolverine. Kieran Gillen is getting to it, but for the most part, Al Ewing is the best in the X office at keeping continuity. Like, if Al Ewing isn't there,
it's one of the things I'm confused I'm confused why continuity would even be a problem. When I was growing up, one of the things that Stan Lee talked about was the mighty Marvel bullpen. The bullpen was where the writers came together that were writing different books. You pitching ideas to each other, you cross-referencing stuff, and you keeping each other in the loop as to what's going on with characters. Even DC did this once before. It used to be like, before you went and included Batman in a story, you had to go check with him to see if Batman was even available. The writers of those specific books, they was like, nah, these characters doing something else. We just gonna say they part of the team, but they was doing something else for this initial issue. It's like one of them things like, come on, man, it shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be that hard.
We get a data page here on the next one. It's a conversation between Metallo and Abigail Brand. Abigail has commissioned Metallo to kind of give Vulcan a 1-2, give him a quick physical, at least, up here, see what's going on. And Metallo is like, hey, bro, you're going to have to pay me. Like you paying me now, but I need you to double, triple it, quadruple it. You got me over here playing with a warhead with my fingers. You know what I'm saying? I need money. I need it. You're going to have to pay me, bro. I think it's funny because you get to see the different levels of people that play in the schemes, right? You got the people who's going to buck it naturally and see what's going on and resist it. You got the people that's going to watch the whole thing play out and just go with the flow and get in where they fit in. Because I bet you, if anyone of Thunderbird, Cable, Manifold, or Storm, or Magneto, hell, the Fisher King for that matter, anybody presses Mantello, he's going to fold. He's going to fold. He's going to give them everything that they want. All they got to do is find out that he know and he's folding. He is going to buckle. He literally in the bro mind, he like, look, man, I'm not that guy for this. Like, and then also I thought it was interesting because as he's breaking it down, he tells him it's almost like going to a like a wall that's not there, something
He
like that. What does he
used a
say?
great
A
analogy. He
tunnel
used
that's painted on like Coyote, like Wile E. Coyote.
now watch this. First of all, Al Ewing, the way he got Mentallo talking, that's his character. Like he's able to
Yeah.
write the character. But he dated himself with that Roadrunner joke. Because it's like, hey, I don't necessarily know if people in their 20s and 30s gonna get that one. I got it.
No, I got it. I got it.
Like,
I got it. I
get it.
picked
But
it up.
it was a great analogy. Like, man, I'm not gonna play with this dude. I'm not going back in there. You don't give me no more money. We not doing it. And the way he making it sound like a telepath could go into Vulcan's mind and possibly not come out.
That's what it sounds like. So we're gonna head over to the Autumn Palace. That is the newly formed home of Magneto. A conversation going on here between Sunspot, Storm, and the Fisher King, and they are talking about this up-and-coming challenge, whether or not they think Vulcan can win, what Brand is trying to accomplish by putting him in there, and also what they should do about it. Obvious thing is for one of Magneto or Storm to just go ahead and take the challenge. That's the obvious way into it. But Storm has prior engagements. Magneto is hesitant. He's still on his I don't really know if I want to be part of this. I don't want to take a seat on the Great Ring. I don't want the responsibility. I don't want the power. Da 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 da. And it takes Robert DaCosta, a former student of Magneto.
Don't forget the Fisher King.
Don't forget the Fisher King. Fisher King was in there too. Fisher King was in there too. I think this was Sunspot's moment though, to really turn Magneto's teachings back on him.
The reason why I said the Fisher King is because I think it was poignant that he got Eric to realize you're rocking now. Yeah. We don't see who's Krakoa, because that was his initial hesitation. Like, I'm Krakoa and how it's gonna look, because he did need Roberto to.
I think that was probably like, you know how you tell somebody you don't want to do something and you give them a valid reason, but it ain't necessarily your real reason why you don't want. I think he did. Nah, man, I can't do it. I'm from Krakoa. Now, do you think Magneto is seriously studying any Iraqi mutant who got something to say about him being Krakoan? I don't think so.
Now, had you asked me this maybe 5 years ago, I probably would have said something different. But this Magneto, with the emotional weight that he has on his shoulder, because he's been through a lot emotionally ever since they took over, how peeing at swords and everything like that. So this particular Magneto, I think it matters, because we saw what he went through with the trial of Magneto and everything like that. Wanda, like, they resolved some long-standing issues in regard to his emotion, why he's been distant and everything like that. Krakoa they did look at it as being the utopia, just for it all to fall apart and everything like that. So this Magneto, I'm with you, but this Magneto, this Eric Lenshear, he needed to know he belonged for him to even take up this mantle, because he doesn't want to be an overlord anymore. He doesn't want to be a ruler. He don't want to be that. He just want to be a part of.
You're right. It's probably 50-50, right? I was going into it thinking that the deeper issue was whether or not he wanted to fight for something like that at the moment, right? Where he is mentally, it doesn't seem like nation building is anywhere in the top 10 of his list of to-dos at the current moment. So even the thought of trying to assume another level of power, in which he had on the likes of Krakoa, probably makes him shudder at the moment, because it's not what I'm on. I'm not feeling, like you said, like what he's been through emotionally kind of has him scarred to things. It has him, resistant to lead.
As we review this issue and the other issue after this, he gives us more detail into how he's feeling and everything.
He does.
I don't want to take away from that.
Roberto asked him, he says, maybe you want to rest, or maybe you want to quit to rest in peace, but what you want to do and what you can do, those are two different things. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. And that's what I was kind of getting at. Like, he turned Magneto's teachings back on him in a moment where you kind of, maybe as a teacher, if you feeling that destitute, that low on your laurels, that's probably the pick me up that Magneto needed.
Roberto DaCosta was John Proudstar for the New Mutants back in the day. Like, his attitude sucked. Like, he just knew he was all. I mean, his attitude was a mixture of John Proudstar, Hiro Yoshida, Sunfire, and everything like that. He was an arrogant cuss. Like, I don't. If Sam wasn't as nice as he was, Cannonball, they wouldn't be best friends. So for him to be looking at me to be like, you used to talk to me like this, like when I was feeling some type of way. So let me throw this back at you.
Get back at you. Get back at you. Swinging back over to the Circle of the Perilous at sunset. Hell of a time to fight. We've got Vulcan and we got Tarn. Everybody's wedging their bets. Who's going to win? Abigail Brand is watching from her ball thing in the sky. We got an Iska the Unbeaten appearance there with Roberto Da Costo. Are they flirting here? Something with Iska? Because I don't know how I feel about it. I like, bro, you got some confidence, boy. Like, she don't lose ever.
But come on now, like he been walking around with swag. I noticed it since the incursion. Like, he been walking around with hella swag. He's like, hey, my mutant powers ain't even the best part of me.
I didn't know Sunspot had it like that, but clearly I underestimated him.
Dog got on white socks. Anytime you got on white socks with black dress shoes, you got confidence like nobody else.
He Michael Jackson, Billie Jean'd it. Michael Jackson, Billie Jean'd it. We got a Cora the Burning Heart appearance. This is the character that replaced Fabian Cortez on the S.W.O.R.D Station 1. Her and Storm have a conversation over who should win between Vulcan and Tarn, and it doesn't seem like Miss Cora has very much confidence in Vulcan at all. And it really goes a long way to building Tarn up. We've got a lot of Tarn in X-Men comic books leading up to this point. And, Zeb Wells' Aliens and S.W.O.R.D and I think he showed up in Excalibur. Oh, it's Knights of something now, Knights of X or some crap. I stopped reading it. But he's popped up a lot. But the Circle of Perilous has done a good job of building him up to be the terror of Arakko, right? The number one enemy of Arakko. Like, imagine Sinister if he could actually fight, and that was the biggest thing that he wanted to flex about, was the fact that he could dominate any person, any mutant on Earth. Like, that's me. Like not only am I a genetic terrorist.
He's a terror. I like when the Fisher King talked about it, because they touched on, since he's lost to Storm, since he's lost to Ororo, he's become more deliberate. He don't talk.
Ever since he fucked around with Storm, he's just smoking cats off top.
The Fisher King mentions it. Cora mentions it again. Like, hey, since he lost to you, he ain't playing the radio.
He trying to get back to the champ.
And everybody want to smoke from him. They touched on that too. Like, I love the fact that, hey, he lost. Once he lost, everybody want to smoke. It's kind of like, you know what? I'm not gonna mention that dude's name, because me and that dude the same age and we the same height. And because I might see this dude somewhere in person, and I'm not gonna mention his name, because this is a dude that I would never crack a joke about, because he literally knocked people out. Like, he.
Yeah. All right, man. He ain't no boogeyman. Iron Mike. Shoot. Hey, man, look, I got running shoes. I get where you coming from, though. That's definitely what Tarn is on right now. He's trying to get you out of here in the first couple of rounds.
Yeah.
And so the fight takes off. This is a part that I wasn't really clear about, because the way it's drawn, it looks like this blast comes in between them. Like, I think it's meant to look like Vulcan did it. He responds as if he does it after they separate, because he tells them, I basically took your powers away. I wiped your powers. But we also know that Vulcan has other powers that he's been tapping into. So I just wasn't sure if Brand maybe gave him an assist, or this was truly one of those new abilities that he was unlocking.
I think what happened, now that I go back and revisit it, they both released their powers to shut down, to steal each other's abilities at the same time, because Tarn has that ability. That's an ability that Vulcan has. So the reason why the blast is in the middle between them, because they both got affected. Because when Vulcan, like, when you tried to take my abilities, I took yours too.
Or the Burning Heart even says it. Demons of Amith, 2 weapon thieves. It's a fight. So they basically, you're right, they tried to steal each other's powers at the same time. the fight ensues, and it's looking like Vulcan is gonna hold his own. Right, he in there, you give him a stiff backhand. I don't know why that was his first move. Like clearly Vulcan don't have it all. You know, he's still powerful. He's still a very powerful mutant. He's mutant royalty, as he keep trying to tell us. But he's not all there because he's going to backhand smack pimp smacks. And
I'm like,
Tarn is throwing haymakers.
I don't think Vulcan got hands. Like, I don't think he got hands. Like, that's my, because in everything, every iteration we've seen from Vulcan, he ain't really just been throwing hands with people. That ain't what he do. It's a blast here. You know, you get your power stripped over there, something like that there. He ain't really, So it's like, I don't think he got that one hit quitter in him. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, did Tarn really, you look like you got a concussion from this dude. You what?
The first one, like he looked like he just rearranged his whole jaw, just pushed it all the way over there. The first one got him coughing up his own teeth. The first hit, it's over. He tried to throw another punch. Here go Tarn. Snap.
He's holding his, like he gotta cut his butt off.
Oh my God. He even taunts him at the end. Like, you keep talking about you never died, huh? You never died? Okay, come here. Bird stomp. American History X style.
How many L's is that now, 2?
Yeah, bad ones.
Ororo gave him an L, so we got a technical knockout because she didn't kill him. We just
No, she didn't kill him, but Tarn killed, and that's another thing too that I wasn't necessarily clear on. I know it goes off of yield or death, but actually, you know what? I am going to leave that alone for next issue. I'm going to leave that alone. Vulcan gets his face pummeled in front of the entire crowd. Even Storm is shocked, so you know it is brutal. Tarn is looking around. He's feeling like the man.
I'm the man. I'm a black.
And then he asks, any more takers? Anyone else?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Anyone else? And guess who is going to make their student very, very proud?
Eric Lynchier.
Eric Lynchier. So here he comes. He has accepted the challenge, and it looks like Mr. Sunspot. Not only did he anticipate it, but it seems like he's part of the plan, because immediately he gets into this conversation with Iska. Iska is saying, "Oh man, well, whoever this guy is, he's about to get scraped just like Vulcan did, right?" And here's Roberto saying, "You know what, Iska? I think you're right. I bet that Tarn wins." So here's where it gets a little complicated, and I don't feel like there was, if you were going to choose to do this, there's no amount of writing that you could have done to over-explain it, because it would have made it even worse. You just kind of got to leave it up to the reader to get it. Here's what I got from it. Roberto offering that challenge to the mutant that could never lose. She is required. Like, it's probably a compulsion. It probably goes along with her power set that makes her take the challenge because she never loses.
I think it's one of those things, like Domino, whose ability is basically
I'm getting tired of the probability stuff. That's
right.
starting to piss me off, because now that's everybody. That's Destiny, that's Domino, that's Iska. Like,
right. So
that's a lot of parody.
Lazy writing. What's going on with Iska is that she doesn't have control over her abilities. That's why she can't lose.
It don't seem like it, no.
Right. So now watch this, because if that's how her abilities operate, she don't need to keep telling people how Roberto beat her, because it's just as simple as somebody, you know what, you never do lose.
And I think that what you're saying about her not wanting that to get out, I think that has a lot to do with her reaction to Roberto getting her caught in that trap, because she was like,
right.
okay.
If you walk up, you are Iska and beaten. I bet that if we was to fight right now, I'd lose.
Right. And not even just that, it puts the people that she messed with in jeopardy. So this has me thinking about a couple different things. Number one, we talked about in, I think it was the first issue of X-Men Red, why, if Iska has such a problem with how Storm was going about it in terms of going to war or staying, doing the new beginning thing on Arakko, why didn't you just lean the vote the way you wanted it to go? Well, because she knew that the rest of the ring would vote for peace, and so since she never loses, her power dictated she went with the winning side. Just like when they fought against Amos, right? The numbers in the situation dictated that they were going to lose at one point, so she went to the winning side. She had no control, and that was the one thing that stuck out about her story with Genesis and Apocalypse and Amos and all that stuff in Ten of Swords. Is like, so she just mysteriously bounced on her sister after warring for thousands of years and went to the other side and was like, nope, they got it now. Like, why did that happen? Something must have happened to make the Iraqi mutants. It was inevitable at some point that they were going to fall. And so with that being the situation, her powers dictated her to do that.
And that's the thing.
I don't want to over explain with probability, because then now she's no different than Destiny's future seeing abilities or even Wanda's hex abilities, because that's probability based too now, right?
And it's good that you say that, because none of those characters have abilities over their powers. It's one of those, while it's a power, she doesn't have any conscious control over it.
Also be a weakness, yeah. And if people knew that, they would manipulate it. So you're right. That's why she snaps DaCosta's neck. So Storm swoops in right as she getting her neck snapped. And another interesting thing happens here. She doesn't just seem mad that DaCosta figured it out. She also seems mad that she's doomed Tarn, which is very interesting.
She said, I done fought with this dude for 1,000 years. You bragging about the fact that you didn't fought with Tarn the Uncaring?
I thought everybody in Arakko hated Tarn. I thought he was enemy number one. That's like, man, I've been working with Osama bin Laden my whole life. Like, oh, for real?
Like, I get it. If her mutant abilities, and if we're understanding her mutant abilities the way we are, her mutant abilities would have required her to battle alongside Tarn. You wouldn't have had no choice. But you acting like you feel bad about it. It might be that she just has issues with Krakoans, period. And having a Krakoan outsmart her, who wasn't Ororo, who wasn't Eric Lenshear, who is not an Omega level mutant, which she is, she probably feeling some type of way. Like, he figured out, because she got this, to me, she carries herself with a certain type of arrogance. Because she always keeps telling her, no, I can't lose. You just did.
The way that Magneto takes down Tarn here, using his side blocking helm, right? Do you think that he would have needed the luck or the ability of Iska to make this happen? Like, the way that it kind of happened, it was like, he was like, are you going to accept? Like, I'm waiting on you, what you want to do? And the minute he got halfway through the word, the helm was already on him. Is that very far stretched for an Omega level mutant like Magneto?
We saw how quickly Tarn affected Ororo's abilities. So it's just a split thought. But he was momentarily distracted because he was thinking about all that other stuff that was going on. That's all Eric needed, was that split second. Eric is a warrior trained. Like, this dude been fighting for a minute now.
We get probably the best panel, in my opinion, that we've seen out of X-Men Red, with a fallen Tarn and Magneto hovering in the circle of the perilous. Beautiful page here.
Can we say Tarn is a coward? Because he don't mind killing people, but he be wanting to yield a lot.
Oh, y'all about to say he tried to yield too, didn't he? Definitely tried to yield. Magneto was like, nope. Rah. Good night. Good night, brother. Good night.
Man, I'm glad Tarn told me. I ain't gonna lie. I like Tarn, but I don't like Tarn. I like Tarn because I don't like it. Can I say I like it because I don't like it.
He's a decent villain. I think it'd be interesting on how or if he even gets brought back. Because Iraqi mutants are not fond of resurrection, and I think we'll get into that a lot more in issue 4. Any final thoughts on issue 3?
I liked it. I love the character writing. Like, to me, that's important, that the character consistency and everything like that. Mentallo, the report that he did to Brand, this is Mentallo that we've been getting in X-Men's S.W.O.R.D, X-Men Red. And it helps explain his personality through the years before Al Ewing even took over. I'm loving that. The Fisher King being he actually seems like he's older than Eric, which is crazy because we know Eric old. So he's able to sit back be that wise man to Eric. And then you get the Roberto DaCosta, where I learned from the teacher, so now I'm able to give it back to the teacher. One thing I know me and you haven't talked about, Eric has went from wearing his ceremonial white back to his
Back
red and
to
purple.
his red and purple. Yep.
I like Al Ewing's writing. I love it. I love the fact how he touched on Ororo and T'Challa and everything like that, keeping the continuity. This is one big universe. 616 is one big universe. And these
Next
stories,
one. Next one.
Huh?
That's the next issue.
My bad.
And
That's
next
what
one.
happened.
It's two. It's
That's what
two.
happened when you read two comic books back to back. But
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Now
yeah,
everybody know. Everybody know by now.
I love the comic book, and I'm gonna shut up now before I spoil anything else.
It's all good, man. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you come back for another comic book review. We'll be probably releasing 3 and 4 within a couple of days of each other and probably back to back. So, like I said, come back and rock with us, and we'll be here for issue 5.